and this is Exercise Your Faith. So today we have two special guests. If y'all would come on, Mr. Rob. He is one of the contestants of The Biggest Loser. And I have Lena here. She is the owner of The Rich Juice. So if y'all like juicing, she's going to show you how to juice today. So we are going to get right into it. I am cooking one of my recipes from my cookbook, Eating God's Way, Eating to Live. Our cauliflower rice. I know you've heard a lot about it. It's delicious, but you got to know how to do it perfectly. And the reason why we're cooking the cauliflower rice today is because, you guys, it's COVID, it's flu season. We don't get enough vegetables, right? So today we're trying to make a healthy meal that is affordable. I know, like, a lot of times we are trying to eat healthy, but it's not affordable, right? So today we're gonna add some grilled chicken to it. Everybody loves chicken, right?
Yes. Love it.
Yes. So we got the chicken going right now, and you guys, I always use olive oil with almost everything that I cook with. So that's the first thing you always start with, is about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And remember, you don't want to use too much of olive oil because, remember, it's still a fat. Okay, so, but that is something you can use. You can even use canola oil too. That's an option, a substitute. And I use very little salt. I'm using sea salt today. Kind of just twist it in. All right. This is kind of like a little mixed seasoning right here. And I just kind of drizzle just a little bit in there. Not too much. You don't want it to be salty. Okay. So remember, you can add any type of seasoning to it. Garlic powder, onion powder. And we're going to kind of let this grill for now. And I'm going to kind of turn it over to Mr. Rob. I love your weight loss journey. You were a contestant on The Biggest Loser.
Yes.
That was amazing.
Thank you.
I loved it. So if you want to kind of talk about, where you started from, what your goals are, how you made it there.
Sure. It was July of 2019, and I remember a time where I was in the hospital, and I called my wife, and I was just sitting there like, okay, this something got to give. I've been one of those guys that tried everything. I tried every sort of diet fad that was out, keto, Atkins. I tried intermittent fasting, and nothing was working. And so that one time in July, I remember the day, July, I think it was 19th, at 8 o'clock at night, I was scrolling through my social media, and I said, I got to find something to help me get this weight off. And I was 442 pounds, and The Biggest Loser popped up. And they were saying they were looking for contestants. And I was like, I don't know if I want to do this. I don't want to go on TV right now. I don't want to do this. I want to be with my family. And I ran to my room. And said, hey, Lena, what do you think about this? She's like, why not? You don't do anything for yourself, and that's the key. A lot of us don't do anything or invest in ourselves. We forget about self-care.
Yeah, and sometimes we're just out of fear. We don't even want to try it out. I mean, you don't know if it's going to work unless you try it.
Exactly.
Right?
And so self-care was at the bottom of my list. I'm married, I have a child, and so me was just last, putting it back in the bus. It's the first time in my life where I actually decided to do something for me. And I applied. As I'm driving home from work the next day, they called me and said, we want you now.
Wow.
And from there, it was just a fast process. Went to New Mexico, found out that I stopped breathing 31 times each hour. Wow. So every hour while I'm asleep, I'm not breathing basically for a whole hour. 31 times is a lot. That's excessive for sleep apnea.
Now, is that because of weight or is
Not because of weight.
Okay.
At the time, I was 442 pounds.
Okay.
And I had no idea I was 442 pounds. I had no idea I had severe sleep apnea. Wow. And on top of that, high blood pressure, almost a diabetic. I mean, my health was so bad that I was like, wow, 32 years old, and I had the health of a 70-year-old, 80-year-old who's very unhealthy. And so I went on the show. I was the first contestant to be eliminated, even though I lost 13 pounds. And came back home and had to learn how to lose weight while being a husband, a father, and going to work at the same time.
Yeah.
I lost 48 pounds during the series for 3-month show. But total now, it's October, I'm down 145 pounds.
Wow, that's amazing.
So I went from 442 pounds to 315.
Yeah, and I kind of follow your Instagram. Like, I mean, you're putting like pictures I mean, but that's encouraging to people that feel like, I don't know how to eat healthy. I don't want to work out. I'm too busy to work out. And,
Right.
sometimes we have to sacrifice to for our health.
Right.
We say we're so busy, but I mean, what does it take for us to be in the hospital? Does it take for us to have a heart attack?
Not that drastic.
Right. But it happens though, right?
Well, it happens.
Yeah,
Sometimes
yeah.
you go to the hospital or you go to the doctor, and it takes that one visit, and it's like, whoa, I'm that close, and that's what woke me up. I mean, not breathing 31 times in the shower. There's a chance I won't be alive to see my son. If he wants to play sports, or if he wants to be play piano, if he wants to be an actor, anything he wants to do, I want to be there for him.
Right.
And so that's why I put my health first. In order for me to be the foundation of my household, I have to take care of me first. And so that's why I'm able to lose 145 pounds, and that's why I'm at where I'm at.
And y'all doing that together, right? I mean, I see y'all goals, right? Y'all exercise together. You're doing the juicing, and I know people are like, I want to juice, I don't know how to juice, or they're not sure. So I know a lot of times you put your products on there, and you're just helping people and just giving them like the benefits of it. So I mean, y'all teamwork, that goes hand in hand.
We've been best friends since high school.
Wow,
So it's been a
long story to tell.
But she's the chef. She's the cook.
Okay.
I can cook breakfast.
All right.
And anything else? Don't ask me to. No. Chicken. I can just throw chicken.
Okay, so you do the breakfast. You do everything else.
She all the ethnic foods, everything, all that spices, all that stuff. I cook bland chicken, all that bland stuff. I do all the bland stuff.
All right, and y'all love the cauliflower rice. That's a specialty of mine, you guys.
I love it.
Yes.
It's so delicious. You don't want to share it. I'm telling you.
Our son loves it.
Look, I fight my son.
Yeah.
My son, I'm 3 years old. We be at the table. I sit down, I be trying to push him down. Hey, and he's not gonna tell his mama, hey, mama, hey.
It's good when you have the kids eat, because I mean, sometimes we start our kids off with other things. We don't think about the veggies. That's like last. And so because when we start veggies last, we don't have a taste for it.
Right. Oh, yeah. He loves his broccoli. We made cauliflower pizza as a family last week. So I'm having him learning how to cook.
Okay.
We have him trying different things out and getting his hands in there and touching the textures and just learn how to eat healthy.
Right. Yeah. So you definitely want to get your kids started early. That's important. Because, when you get, and that kind of is like research kind of shows, when you get your kids involved in the kitchen, even having a garden, something like that, getting them involved kind of helps them to want to, I want to eat this because I grew it or I made it, So, getting your kids involved early with cooking in the kitchen is definitely a plus.
It is, especially living a busy lifestyle.
Right.
To show them how to cook for themselves in a healthy way and prevent a lot of bad habits.
Exactly. Because being busy and on the run, fast food, that's kind of what we lean to. So just getting them out of that cycle and like helping them to be in the kitchen not only helps us as adults, but kids too. And even just grocery shopping, you guys, we want to make sure that we're eating fresh foods, like the whole vegetable, the whole fruit. A lot of times people are asking me, what about canned food? Or what about this? It's been processed. We want to stay away from processed food. We want something that's more from the earth and whole, instead of processed, because once they process it, they start adding all the salt, all the sugar. And so now you've lost the benefit of why you're eating cauliflower rice or simple as an orange. So we just have to kind of be careful. And that's why even juicing, say if you're just a person that's just has an issue with eating fruit, you can juice it, and so you're drinking it. So maybe it could be like a texture issue or something like that. So I'll just kind of let Lena kind of talk about that as well. But I'm going to get started. I'm going to add, we have our chicken cooking, and you can add any type of protein. You can use eggs. So like if you are vegetarian and you don't eat meat, you can do eggs. You can do shrimp, whatever type of protein that you want to do. I've seen people put crab meat in their cauliflower rice. That sounds very delicious. crab meat or salmon in it. So you just kind of get this cooked down, and it's cooked down. You don't want to, overdo it. But then all you really add in is your cauliflower rice. So I got a bag where it actually has the peas and the carrots already in it. So, you can get it separately. That's fine, where you add in your own veggies. And y'all, the more veggies, the better. Because the more you have, the more it'll fill you up, okay? So that goes with anything. If you're eating like a pasta dish, I would recommend that you add vegetables to it, because it'll fill you up. I know sometimes when I'm feeling like eating a pizza or something like that, I will cook some veggies on the side and put it on top. So now I have some extra vegetables. Now I've added the benefit to the pizza, right? So what you're going to do, you add your cauliflower rice in, and it's almost like it would be better if you had a wok. That would make it more fun. But I'm going to add in some coconut aminos. So I like using this because it's soy free. So like if you cannot eat soy or you're allergic to it, this is an alternative to it. It doesn't have as much salt. You can also get something called liquid aminos. So it's the same thing. The coconut aminos just has like a more like sweet coconut taste, and that's what I like, adding a little more flavor to it. All right, so you're just gonna put very little. You don't need much, and it still has some salt in it, you guys. Just not as much salt, okay? If you like, I like to add a little bit of garlic. You can add some like onions to kind of like saute with it as well, just to give it more flavor. Sometimes I'll even add some bell peppers, just to give it extra flavor when you're cooking this down. It smells good. Yeah. And look, the more protein you add, it gives it a different flavor too. So, all right. So you kind of just let this cook down a bit. I'm not going to add an egg today. I just have the chicken. All right. So you kind of just like almost let this cook down. Now, be careful with cauliflower. You can overcook it and it'll become mushy. And then it's like not good anymore. All right. So I would cook this down for about 15 to 20 minutes until you get the texture that you desire. But we're going to let this cook down. But I'm ready to hear about some juicing, because I love juice. I love fruit. A lot of us love fruit because it's so sweet, of course. But this is going to be a way where you can add your veggies in too. And so you're getting all the benefits of the veggies and the fruit. And I'll let Miss Lena kind of talk about more of the benefits of juicing, because it goes right into your body quickly. It's a juice, so I love it. I love her juice. So I'm going to let her talk about one of her recipes from the rich juice.
Yes, so actually, funny story, I hate beets, but I was able to make a juice that I could tolerate, and it's one of my favorites. Beets, a lot of my runners, trainers, just people who work out, like my husband, they enjoy the drop the beet.
Yes.
Because it gives you that stamina. It's like a pre-workout. I have some customers who they struggle with, iron, or feeling like they're kind of low with their vitamins. And I always suggest a good green juice, or I'll suggest drop the beet. And so everything has been cut and already soaked and washed. I use apple cider vinegar by Bragg's for all of my produce to clean. And so we're going to get started. I like to use cucumber and celery and a lot of my juices because they have so many good benefits, but also they yield a lot of juice. And so if I was just to do just all beet, I would have to use more beets to get a lot of juice. Whereas if I'm able to add, something that's going to yield more juice, it's going to spread. Right. But you're still going to be getting those nutrients, opposed to using fillers like preservatives or water or whatever the case is. So I'm about to get started with this. Now this juicer here is a slow masticating juicer. It's I don't know if I'm saying it right, but I think it's called an ACUC. And this is the first juicer that I got, and I love it. It's slower, but it gets a lot of the juice a lot of the juice out of the produce. So I'm gonna get started. Now, typically, when I start, I like to start with my beets, and then I push through something that's going to yield more juice. So a cucumber or the celery. What's in the beet juice is, of course, beets, apple, ginger, lemon, cucumber, and celery. All right. So depending on the shoot that you have, will determine if you're going to either cut it up small or if you can just throw it in there. This one, you do have to kind of cut it up a little smaller. And I got a little clear cup so you can see. And it can be time consuming, but the benefits of juicing, once you're done and you start drinking it and you see how you feel, it's like, okay, it was worth it. You know?
Right.
Yeah. So.
And it's different sometimes because, like, I don't like beets either.
My mom, every year my mom would try to get me to do beets. She tried them pickled, she tried them in a salad, and I was like, I still don't like it. So my customers are asking for a beet juice, and I was like, oh, I don't have a beet juice. I'm like, well, can you make one? And I was like, no. And so I finally was like, okay, I'm gonna make one. And I was like, okay, I can do this. And honestly, a lot of people are shocked, but the way, like, if you eat a beet, it's not gonna taste the same as when you juice it at all. It's gonna, because it's actually a little bit sweeter. And so you would be surprised. People are like, oh, I can't do that. But if you juice it, you can.
Right.
And I always tell my customers that, especially my customers who are like nurses or doctors or just always on the run, I always tell them, hey, you don't have time to sit down and eat, but you have time to drink.
Right.
You get your little Yeti cup, pour your juice in there, and you're fueling your body, you know? And so also when you're juicing, you're giving your digestive tract a break. Because when you're eating solids, you have to break that down and chew it, and the body has to absorb it. Right. When you juice, it goes straight.
It's right in your bloodstream.
Yes,
right, yes. It's already broken down.
It's broken down, and I've had some say it's curbed their appetite. Of course, giving them energy, clearing their skin, helping their digestive tract. And I actually had one girl who would always fail her test. They would like check her vitamin D and all her different levels, and they were always low. Right. And so she started doing a lot of green juices in the beet, and for the first time, she actually passed it. And so it just goes to show you, when you feed your body the stuff that you know you're not eating, right, it's gonna give you some quick results.
And then there are some juices out there, you guys, that I can't think of the brand offhand, but there are some juices out there that you can buy, and they're very processed. So that means they're full of sugar. So now you have really lost the benefits of juicing.
Pretty much.
Right.
And like I tell people, like, of course, you doing a fruit juice, like a fresh pressed only fruit juice, is better than you eating a chocolate cake or a Snicker. Right. However, if you are going to be giving these juices to those who might be diabetic, you know, they can't take all that sugar. Yeah. Fruit sugar, your body doesn't know, like, oh, this is a fruit sugar, let me do right by it. You know, this is sugar.
Right.
It's still gonna give you a hard time.
Yeah, people don't realize, like,
and raise your blood sugar.
Fruit is a carb. I mean, any type of carb will raise your blood sugar. I mean, that's beans, corn, rice, fruit. It doesn't matter if it's healthy, it's still a carb, and it's going to raise your blood sugar. So
exactly.
People don't realize that.
And everything's in moderation.
Right.
You have to do everything in moderation. And so that's why a lot of my juices, you know, some will request, well, can you make it a little sweeter? And I might add a little bit more fruit, but I always try to balance it and maybe take a little bit of something else out. Like maybe take some of the ginger out and a little bit of the cucumber, but add like a little bit more apple, but maybe some more celery.
Right.
And so I've got it to the point where my customers, they are used to drinking real juice, and they're not even looking for a sweet juice. They just know their body needs it. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
So.
And y'all, it takes 21 days to like adjust your taste buds to form a habit. Right. So you may drink this juice and you're like, oh my gosh, you're just not used to it.
Right.
You know? And you have to kind of like readjust your body to actually, you know, vegetables.
Right, and like I tell a lot of people, like my husband and I, we used to say, like, oh my gosh, we would never have eaten this back in the day. And it's the truth. Like, we wouldn't have, but you have to ask yourself, like, we get into situations that we're in now because we're always eating and drinking what tastes good, but it's not good for us.
Exactly.
So we have to reverse it and say, okay, well, this might not taste the greatest, but what are the benefits? Is it going to be good for me? Is it going to help my body? And once you change that mindset and go about it that way, then you're more inclined to make healthier choices.
Right.
So
Exactly. So Rob, like, tell us a little more about Biggest Loser. I mean, like, how was that? I watched the show and it's like intense.
Our trainer, we have two trainers, Erica
Uh-huh.
and Steve. So Steve Cook, I remember Steve Cook from the social media platform. But to see this man in person is it's like looking at Captain America in real life. He's just,
Intimidating.
this dude is in shape. Not only that, he's motivating.
Yeah.
And during
That's
my
important.
time there, he was really reminding me that I'm not living for one purpose. And my whole purpose in life was football. You know, my dad played football. Everybody in my family played football. And so growing up, the pressure was, okay, when you come from a professional football background, you have to go to the NFL. And if you don't go to the NFL, you're a failure.
Then what? Right.
And so when I wasn't able to go to the NFL, I was labeled as the failure. And so I just eliminated everything else that God has given me
That's tough.
and wasn't listening until that one time, that one incident happened where I was in a workout at the Biggest Loser. And he had me pushing the sled, and I'm like, man, I'm tired. I don't want to do it anymore. I tried this the whole time.
Right.
And he said, okay, so you're going to give up on your son, you're going to give up on your wife, so you're just a football player, right? So in the midst of, I'm thinking he's being mean,
Right.
he was actually waking me up.
Right.
So
Pushing
that
you.
awakened something in me that it's a new fire in me.
Yeah.
And all the things that I didn't think I had, helping people with nutrition, with working out, just helping to understand it's not all about just working out 2 or 3 hours a day.
Yeah.
It's all about food. You gotta appreciate food, but then also you gotta take time for yourself.
Right.
So not just working out, but do something that's gonna make you happy and enjoy life.
Yeah, I mean, y'all, it's a mind thing with food, changing any type of lifestyle. Like that's a mind thing.
It's a mind thing.
It's beyond just I'm gonna do this and like you have to like mentally prepare yourself. And then if anybody, we all go through things, and sometimes that maybe hinders us from starting something or
But the biggest thing is ask for help.
Right. Yes, that's
Don't
important.
be too prideful not to ask for help.
Right,
If you feel like, oh man, I keep failing, it's okay to ask for help and just seek help.
Right.
Because that help can just turn you around that corner and see what happens.
Right, and there are people that are out there to help you.
Oh, yes. You just gotta follow the process.
And you guys, I know healthy eating is not probably like the most popular topic, of discussion. But I really hate seeing people end up in the hospital and like really sick, and and I'm like, well, man, I was trying to help you, and that hurts me because I really love helping people eat better because we just don't know. If you're so used to eating a certain way for years, which a lot of us are, we're in Louisiana, and man, we have the best food probably in the world.
You do.
Like
100%.
that's just how it is. But it's not healthy at all. At all. So we've been trained to eat like this for years, and then we've been trained to eat all of our food. That's just how it is. So, it's tough seeing people that are like, man, I'm so sick now. Well, you may have changed your diet back then, or changed, just the smallest thing. Maybe you would have just walked a little more every day. Y'all, walking will lower your blood sugar. Walking will, not just help you lose weight, but it'll help you mentally, just to like kind of decompress. So, just small things like that, I try to encourage on people, not to force them, but y'all, don't wait till you get sick before you try to make a lifestyle change, because it's now harder to fix that.
Right.
You don't want to wait. It might be too late.
Right.
Exactly. You don't want to be paying for medication and going to the doctor when you can just eat a little more healthy or change just something small, like adding some green beans on your plate every day.
Every minute.
Something small like that,
Right.
So that's kind of like the key, So you guys, we have our cauliflower rice ready. We have the drop the beets So we're gonna try it. I've had it before, but
We've
this
all
is
had it.
fresh.
Yes,
So I'm ready to
fresh.
taste it.
All right.
Mmm. Yum 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 yum.
It's good.
I love it. I love it. Thank you. It's
welcome.
delicious.
Good.
I want y'all to kind of taste it. Y'all have had my cauliflower, right?
I was gonna say, I'm gonna just say it's good. You know,
You can give me her plate.
Like, we can
and
share
that
a
plate.
plate.
No.
Oh, you want both?
Both plates.
Oh,
and look,
see,
I said sharing.
I don't
Y'all
want
see
you
how
to
we
be
do?
greedy about it. Come
Y'all
on,
see how
Rob.
we do? Y'all see? What is it? Girl. Ooh. Did you use the coconut?
I
Aminos
did.
when you did ours?
Yeah, no, probably not.
Okay,
I
'cause
might
I was
have
like,
used.
it does taste a little sweeter,
You know
but
what?
it's
But
good.
you know what? I see that you don't want to finish yours. Go put yours down real quick.
No, I do want to finish.
So the coconut aminos, you guys. So you have liquid aminos, you have coconut aminos. The coconut aminos has like a little sweet kind of like taste almost. Not as much salt as regular soy sauce. I think it probably, well, it still has a lot. So don't use as much, you guys. But that's in a nutshell how you do your cauliflower rice. I mean, that was simple. That might have took me, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes, if that. Just remember, you can add any type of protein to that. Add that that's a meal right there.
Yeah. There's
That's
no
a meal.
sides. You got everything.
Like, you have all your veggies, and then I would encourage adding more veggies because then that'll fill you up. You have your meat. Sometimes I add chicken and shrimp.
Ooh, yeah.
So that would
That's
make
the one you
it
made us.
even more filling. I think I made you guys the chicken and shrimp. They order pans and pans of
Yes.
cauliflower rice, you guys.
Yes.
So it's delicious. It's delicious. The juice is delicious. Pair it with your juice, or even drink this for like lunch. And a lot of us don't get enough fruit and vegetables during the day. I know we don't. We're supposed to have 5 servings a day, y'all. So, if you can't physically get that fruit or sit down to eat, you have juice you can bring with you on the job, wherever.
That's a whole stalk of celery,
Wow.
3 beets, 1.5 apples, and a whole lemon. No one's gonna sit there and eat a bowl of that.
No, we
I'm
just
not.
don't have time to do that. Sometimes we just don't have time to just sit there and cut up everything, and we just don't have time.
Right.
So, like, this is an alternative right here, you guys. Please check out Lena. She has the Rich Juice on Instagram and Facebook. Check out Rob. What is your Instagram?
Fit Rich and Faith, and then I have another page called Transformation Fit Nation, which is it's a company, and it's also a promoting tool for if you're a new trainer. If you have a weight loss story, please shoot me a DM and I'll promote you.
Awesome. That is great. You guys, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
I'm glad y'all came. I'm really glad y'all came. I hope you learned something. I'm Bianca playing with Eating God's Way. Lena with the Rich Juice. Rob, Fit Faith, Fitness, everything. Biggest Loser. Thank you for joining Healthy Eating with B. This is Exercise Your Faith. Good night, y'all.